introduction to the podcast for the good people.
Yes. Welcome to the Nightmare Challenge. This is our first episode where we will watch and discuss some of the things that gave us nightmares previously. So my main idea for doing this show is that I was always terrified of everything that ever happened to me as a kid, and those things have still followed on from when I'm an adult. I'm joined by Sam McKeddy.
Hello.
Who's spinning his thing like a fidget spinner.
So me and Pete were just at Starbucks there buying some shit coffee, and there was a girl in front of us in the queue who annoyed me quite considerably through just general obnoxiousness and a lack of self-awareness.
I didn't really know what she was doing.
Well, she was standing there for 5 minutes trying to redeem a fucking coffee from some stupid fucking Starbucks app on her phone, and she just had one of those stupid fucking voices. And then, after we get our coffee, she barges back to the front of the queue, being like, "Can I get a glass of ice water, please? Please, can I get a glass of ice water?" Just awful. A terrible person. So we got our coffee and left pretty shortly afterwards, and then I moaned about her the whole way home because, oh fuck, man. I would have, like, when I come to power, I will cut her fucking head off.
You got me so distracted that I forgot to get milk for my coffee, and now
didn't you? Oh, right, when we were there, that was her fault.
And now I just have the most bitter.
Why don't you put some milk in it? Do you not have any? Do you want me to pour some latte in it? Would that balance out a bit?
Nah, I'm okay.
Okay, alright, whatever.
I'll go with the.
Just deal with it. Black coffee is good for you. You should put a chunk of butter in it and have bulletproof coffee. I have that with MCT oil in the morning now because I'm like fucking Joe Rogan.
I don't know if I can do a Joe Rogan-y style thing. Yeah, I don't like him that much, but I like how he
had that fucking Sargon of Akkad guy or whatever.
I saw that.
That guy is a fucking idiot.
And he's meant to be like a liberal YouTuber, but all of his stuff is like hating on.
And he's a Sarkeesian, pretty much. He's got like 30 videos about that. I mean, like, I had a conversation with James Cooper about this guy yesterday, and it was like, James is a fucking sharp guy. He knows what's up with this dude. And the way he put it is like, he was saying, this guy isn't smart at all. All he does is make these like stupid videos where he doesn't actually have any knowledge of a subject beyond like reading fucking Wikipedia. This guy's just dumb and doesn't have any actual like arguments of his own. He says there's a video where he like actually sits down with like a feminist scholar and tries to debate with her, and he doesn't know shit, and he gets like fucking just embarrassed pretty much.
The guy Sargon.
Yeah, well, the way James put it is like, if anyone's smart, the reason no one actually intelligent chimes in these fucking like stupid SJW arguments now is like, it would be like Einstein making like a video series about hentai or something. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I fucking hate these like YouTube like social justice warriors versus like fucking alt-right types. They're always awful people. It's just a big kind of clusterfuck. And I just stay away from that.
Like, neither side seems to ever get ahead.
Well, they're all stupid. Like, Anita Sarkeesian is a piece of shit, and so is Sargon of Akkad or whatever. Is it a Sad or a cat? I think it's a cat. Based on named himself after the fucking like Mesopotamian like fucking leader from like hundreds of years ago, and it's just embarrassing considering he's just some like chubby IT worker in the UK called Carl.
So we're gonna watch our first piece of nightmare fuel. Mm-hmm. It's a TV show that I remember.
Golden Lou, put that one on.
It's Golden Lou. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's really a good one.
TV show that I watched when I was young, and it scared the shit out of me. It would air every morning before we went to school, along with sort of cheesy cartoons. It was part of a cheesy cartoon block, which was mainly Hanna-Barbera cartoons with 2 frames of animation.
I hate those fucking things.
And then Brahma would come on, a show about a car that is alive, and he helps out people to do just random chores, or he chases down bank robbers.
But
why he's alive, it's never explained, and I never liked the fact that he was alive. He has a creepy face, his creepy little eyes. There was something not right about it. Where I think if they made him talk, I think I would have been okay with it. But the fact that he doesn't say anything, and he just maybe goes,
He reminds me of the of the Phantom Train from that Zelda game that nobody played on the DS.
I never played that game.
Spirit Tracks, yeah, nobody played it except me. It was shit.
Well, here we go.
Okay,
Gold episode 403, Golden Lou.
Are we gonna watch all of this, or are we gonna watch until we're bored?
It's 10 minutes long.
Okay.
Should be fine.
Okay.
Can you hear everything?
Yeah, I can hear everything fine.
Okay. I forgot about this part.
Oh, it's really small as well.
An
It's like a
old
tiny car.
man in his garage
That's less scary.
polishing cars.
So was this done with like stop motion or is it puppetry? Puppetry, yeah, it looks like. Yeah.
Definitely.
He looks like the fucking murderer from the Lovely Bones.
Oh my god.
Stanley Tucci.
What was that whispering? There was some whispering.
It just reminds me of how like uncreative like British until like I guess fairly recently British like TV was like had a very low bar. Like
I think
we'll just have a car that's alive.
I think definitely BBC shows, kind of things like Bagpost and stuff, were done with tiny budgets. But they would make 6 episodes and show them forever. So what's happening here?
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh dear, Brum. Mrs. Push's toilet is broken.
So nobody speaks instead of this child
like,
narrator.
Yeah, it seems that way. So it's like they pulled that toilet out without turning the water off first. Plumbing 101, that was really stupid. And also, like, oh, I don't know. I am over.
Oh.
This isn't even like a shop. This is like a community center or something with toilets in the window.
Look, Brum. It's the toilet showroom.
This is not.
This is weirder than I remember it being.
Oh.
Some fucking
And now I
Amazon
understand
lady.
why I found it so terrifying. The fact that it's all done in mime.
A golden loo.
And
That's the one for Mrs.
a
Push.
slow child narrator. Who are these cunts?
What are the guys from the Power Rangers called? Like Skull and fucking.
Gold and
I can't remember what they're called, man. The fucking Power Rangers bad guys.
Were they not like bumbling idiots?
Yeah, they were. These guys look. They look. Oh god.
What the fuck? That guy's got dyed.
He's got frosted tips.
frosted tips.
Yeah, this was like
So
this is the 90s or something, right?
This is not an old episode then. This is like
He was, like,
maybe
licking his
early
lips, like,
2000s.
Pitbull. You ever seen those like Pitbull videos where he's like licking his lips? Some like 40-year-old dude like looking at like 19-year-old models licking his lips. This is like, look, she hasn't even bought the toilet yet, so why would Rum care? That guy could beat the car up if he wanted to.
Why would you be scared of that if
I
you were
know.
as fat as that guy? And you're right, she hasn't paid for it.
Yeah, no.
so she
fuck
has
it.
no investment. It's only her, I suppose.
I guess kids don't really know about like insurance. My friend Walter has told me some of Neil Blomkamp's new projects online. I'll need to check that out later.
Sigourney Weaver.
I think she's in it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd already seen that one.
No, I haven't. There's 2 episodes of it now.
These supplies are surprisingly, you know, well labeled. If I was working in a warehouse, I'd be like, great, yeah.
That's where the hammers are, and that's where the toilets are, because that's all we sell in this place.
Don't mix them up.
So what's happening now? Are they hiding from the car?
This must be their stolen goods warehouse. Where they just have Vaseline on the windows.
Yeah. So, like, how does Brahma actually apprehend them or kill them? He doesn't have any weapons or, like, you know...
I guess he's small enough to go in most doorways. But that shaking he does.
Well, that's all he does.
He's like he's not very well.
You know, I always wonder, it's like, see forklifts, why do they always have that propane tank in the back? Why do forklifts always have that?
Oh, in case you want it to explode.
Yeah, well, it seems like in the case of like pretty much every piece of media I've seen which had forklifts in it, the tank gets shot and it blows up. That guy looks like a fat Vinnie Jones.
I was trying to think who he looks like.
Vinnie Jones. Oh, Gunge, a staple of fucking children's 90s TV. There was always Gunge back then.
You know, they brought Get Your Own Brat back to the Fringe. What was that guy called?
I don't know.
You know, like he was a smiley black guy who
Yeah, I
looked like
remember.
Ainsley Harriott.
Maybe it was Ainsley Harriott.
It wasn't. His name was like,
Craig Charles.
oh, it was like Desi Phillips or something like that.
It wasn't Desi Phillips, that's a stupid name.
Definitely was. Anyway, they brought that to the Fringe as like an adult show. I don't know if it was popular or not.
What happens when you lose, you get killed?
They shoot you. His name was Dave Benson Phillips.
That's a very normal name, not Desi Phillips. Desi Phillips or whatever.
Desi
it is.
Phillips.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on now? They're just making a mess.
Yeah, Brum.
Mind how you go, Dak. Mind how you go.
Brum doesn't mind getting
And a dark
shit on
place
his
reference
wheels.
This is just tiresome. Like,
But
there's not even bothering with, like...
But this is a lot less disturbing because they must have toned down the dark elements.
Was there dark elements?
Well, as a kid, I was terrified of every part of the show.
Well, why?
Cause I fucking hate Brum. Look at him, he's fucking horrifying. But I think the garage where he wakes up and he's all smiling.
He doesn't even have a face, he just has eyes.
Yeah, those unblinking eyes.
Like, what were they even attempting to do there?
That guy. Core blimey.
Go ahead and pin it. Oh no! A ramp. Kill them! Finish them off.
Finish him.
So that's how he does it. They already
was
have a net ready to catch themselves in.
Very long look at a net.
Brum's gonna attach himself to that. How though? He just does.
An arm comes out of him. Oh, nice
oh,
move.
right, okay. At least they kind of like explained how this all works. He did a tray flip.
Those are... Oh,
So
those were all ejaculation groans.
So they were just taking from a gay porn stock.
He's brought back the toilet.
Thanks, Bram.
Oh, that was just...
Oh no, he's...
What?
What? It's Mario.
So this is where they spent all the budget. So there is like a 90s Brum song then, it sounds like.
This is definitely like a later edition.
There's different Brum model sizes, because that one's even smaller than the previous one. So they got a few different ones that they're using.
God.
oh man, like British people are so fucking ugly.
Way to go, Bram.
Don't tell the guy who owns Brum, or you'll rip out his brain.
Oh, Brum could just not live there anymore. But wow, that was fucking shit. That was shit.
So, the consensus on Brum.
I did not like that at all. I thought that was just generally bad. Like, fine for kids, like really young kids, but otherwise, I didn't get anything out of that. I didn't find it scary. I thought it was just stupid. Should we
Enough, but you don't think it was. You don't think it passes the nightmare challenge. It doesn't live up to be a nightmare.
No, definitely not.
Well, I think we might have to revisit that because that was a later version of Brum. I'm guessing the first series of Brum was a very dark affair back when the BBC had real stopping power.
Okay, right. So my childhood nightmare. So I spoke about this with you yesterday. When I was at my grandma's house, there'd always be like a big kind of box of like VHS tapes, and I remember watching like Star Trek and that sort of stuff when I was younger. But there was 2 tapes in that box which were 18 rated, and one of them I can understand why it was. It was a Full Metal Jacket, which the VHS cover for had an army helmet with bullets and Born to Kill, etc. written on it. So it was like, okay, I can understand why this is probably like a, inappropriate. And I remember watching it, and like, even though it's like one of my favorite movies now, like it was just a guy like shouting at people, and as a kid I was like, I don't really like get why this is good. So because it was dumb. And the other one was Roy Chubby Brown. If you're not familiar with who Roy Chubby Brown is, he is, well, you'll see for yourself. He's basically the worst person on earth. But the VHS cover that we had for his video was a very colourful thing with a smiley chubby man with a colourful patchwork coat on. And I didn't understand why it was 18. It looked very child friendly from the packaging. So I was always kind of curious about that. So years later, I revisited Roy Chubby Brown with my flatmate, and he's become a bit of a, I guess, kind of like a meme between me and Sam, because he's just probably the worst comedian I think I've ever seen, period. I think that's fair to say. He's really, really, really bad.
I had the same experience of seeing VHS in somebody's house. It was the Gairnses, who I was slightly related to at the time, and they would, they'd ship us off to the TV while they all got drunk in the other room. And I would see Roy Chubby Brown, and I was like, he looks like that woman, what was that show she had the little dog? He looked like the male version of that woman where they flew away in a plane every episode with a little dog called Pippin.
Yeah, I can remember this. That
was something from my childhood, which was not nightmarish. It was probably very whimsical, and I could tune out to it. It's probably not very entertaining. But he looked like the male version of this woman.
Mm-hmm. He has got like a little flight hat on and stuff like that, so I can understand what you're saying.
I tried to watch that earlier. That's not his stand-up. That's just a documentary about him.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll need to watch that.
Probably.
I kind of want to know what this guy's actually like. Is he just a horrible person?
No, probably not. Should we go with the first one? Because that looks
sure.
proper 90s.
I want one with I want one where you can really see the crowd, because the crowd are like one of the.
That one looks like it will be a proper 90s.
Because the crowd who come to these things are all like just terrible people, and you can tell by looking at them.
So
every show seems to open with everyone chanting "You fat bastard" at him, and he does a dance.
Oh, little animatic there.
It's actually quite good. Oh yeah.
Oh, Chemical Brothers.
So he does his little dance all the time. I don't even know if you can call it a dance. He's so fucking fat. Yeah, like look at the crowd. They're all just like shitheads.
Surprisingly more modern than I thought it was going to be.
How? Because they're playing Chemical Brothers, because that was put on the radio at the time.
Actually, yeah, that was in the 90s. Maybe it's just because I like the Chemical Brothers.
Fucking recognise me then, eh?
Oh.
Alright.
Hello. The Derngate Theatre, 20 years ago, I come here with my wife to see Swan Lake. I sat right at the front, hoping one of the swans had left their knickers off. Do I look tired to you? We have worked harder than a fucking Afghanistan bricklayer. An apology on behalf of the management. The gents' toilet apparently stinks of shit.
Was that a joke?
That was me.
There's your punchline.
Oh, because he did it. Because he did a shit.
Complete strangers. Just when you stood, do this. Nice cock. He said to me, Chubby, you look depressed. I said, you'd be fucking depressed if your hair was falling out. He said, well, I don't tell everybody this, but you know when you're making love to a woman, you know all the juices from round the love bucket? I went, yeah. Get some on your fingers and rub it on the powder. I said, you're as bald as a badger. He said, look at me fucking tash.
That gets an applause, that joke.
I thought he'd have a bit more malice in his voice.
He does. He got like well, he does later because he got like throat cancer or something like that, and it made his voice like crueler.
But he seems
Man, I've had how many blind dates? I should get a free fucking dog.
Just wait till he starts wheeling out the kind of racist stuff.
too smiley.
I'm a gynecologist, but I was frightened of the dark. My wife calls me Grizzly Adam. She said I'm always out looking for beaver. We love you girls, but you're fucking funny, aren't you? Scientists in Australia just brought us serum. At the right temperature can be placed in a woman's ovaries and she doesn't need a man anymore. Have you ever heard such fucking shite in your life? You don't need a man anymore. Fuck off. Who's gonna take the spider out the bath? Who's gonna hold your head under the sheets when a big smelly fart comes along?
Oh, that was bad.
Who's gonna tell you look gorgeous when you look like a fucking bag of shite?
His jokes are really bad. They're all just like unfunny, like offensive one-liners, just like machine gunned.
Women are different than men, you know that. I don't think you'd ever hear a woman come out the bog and go, give that fucking 10 minutes.
There's people in the audience just going, yeah.
I can't believe Vice Magazine haven't had like a fucking field day with this guy. I really don't understand that.
Page boy. Who did it, Julian? And then your own highlights. Yeah, at the back as it suits me. It doesn't make me look fat, does it? Fuck. Two blokes me. Now Dave, haircut, yeah. Look a cunt. I don't want to get on the wrong side of anybody here, but I tell you what, that Queen Mother was an inconsiderate fucking owl bastard.
Why does that get cheers?
I don't know. I thought they'd all be unionists.
She knew I was on stage at 7 o'clock, fucking pegged it at 3:30. Everybody said she had a good innings, then why wasn't she playing cricket for fucking England against New Zealand then? We were all out for 150 fucking 7. 102, fucking hell. Did she babysit for Jesus of Nazareth?
So this must have been after 2001.
She had that many wrinkles.
I guess,
over her eyes,
yeah.
The fucking hat had to have a left-hand thread. Didn't take the palace long, did it? I bought the Windsor Evening Gazette yesterday. For sale, 1 golf cart. Poor old bastard, we all loved her, except her fucking teeth. She was on her own 53 years. The only sex she ever got was when she was frisked at the airport. I bet a vibrator was fucking thatched.
I don't even get like why these are like
You've had to pay 500 off
jokes. There's no nuance to this at all.
You know Princess Margaret, the Queen Mother, the Queen, they all love a fucking G&T, you know, they all like a drink. Princess Margaret was going to stop drinking and smoking, but Prince Harry fucking talked her out of it.
I mean, that has...
They look like normal
Kind of-
choir members. They must have focused on them because they're the only normal
That has
ones
the
there.
kind of the cadence of a joke.
Just been watching the news. Air
But
France
it's
are
still
going on
super
strike.
predictable.
Good. No more asylum seekers hanging
Here we
out
go,
with
the
fucking
racist stuff.
tires.
This is what we came for.
He's always...
Oh, look at that! Whey!
Instant
Yeah.
standing ovation.
Why, you've got some fucking asylum seekers here, haven't you? I'm in the town today, one of them went, I haven't had anything to eat for 2 days. I said, I wish I had your fucking willpower. Bought the Sun newspaper this morning, it was on the front. That fucking terrorist. Bin liner. Can't find him. Why don't they give his name to the fucking child support agency? They'll fucking find him, won't they? I bet you've all thrown your Afghanistan holiday brochures away. I wouldn't care, the weather must be nice. They're all wearing fucking tank tops.
That's the second Afghan joke.
Oh, you cruel cunts. They've got fuck all, they've got fuck all. They don't even have a Meals on Wheels van. Muck on a truck. Them Taliban soldier evil fuckers, them, you know. One of them had his wife's toast taken off so she'd get nearer the sink. Do you know Afghanistan is the drugs capital of the Middle East? Yeah. You know, when we were bombing the Tora Bora Mountains, they were just sat in the caves playing bingo. B-52. F-17. They're all shaving their beards off. How they're gonna fucking recognize each other? Went you amid? That's why ZZ Top's been top of the charts for 5 fucking years out there. Oh, it was a good number, that. New York, New York, so good we bombed it twice. Did I get away with that fucker there?
That was incomprehensible.
Yeah, I mean, like the crowd really seem to like these like kind of racist jokes, but I think there's an interesting kind of insight to be gained here about like, you know, the working man's like views on race. I don't think they understand anything. I don't think he understands anything. These just like incomprehensible jokes have no factual basis at all. Everyone's just kind of going with it.
Well, you know, Christianity.
All right, I'm pretty done with Chubbs.
Okay,
enough
so
of that.
Chubby,
That was horrible.
Chubby Brown. There was.
I'd say that warrants the title of being a childhood nightmare. That was pretty bad, but for different reasons. I think when I was a kid, I would have probably thought that was funny just to look like I was laughing at something edgy.
Well, I wouldn't have understood it because I didn't understand some of it.
I didn't understand. Yeah, I didn't understand a lot of the stuff. You're just making a.
He's like the drug capital of Afghanistan. They would have been all hiding in caves playing bingo, and then he names off some aircraft numbers, and then he says they shaved off all the bears, couldn't even recognize each other. It was like, what are you getting? What was the joke there?
Yeah, I mean, also that bingo one doesn't really work because even if they were just naming off aircraft, you wouldn't be able to get a full bingo sheet with that. Like, I mean, just saying if you really want to be pedantic about it, but your jokes need to at least be funny if you want them to make sense. Fucking piece of shit.
I haven't. I don't think I've seen any footage of Chubby Brown apart from.
I don't want to watch any more of him for like at least a few weeks. No more Chubby.
Chubby Brown goes down under. He'd probably get a great acceptance in Australia, which is just like a bunch of crazy racists.
Right. Okay. So what we're doing now? Do you want to put my other thing on or?
So this next one was, what was it called?
Swing You Sinners. I'll pull it up for you. Okay. So this is a cartoon. I think that was made in the 1930s, and it was made before like age ratings as a concept were even really a thing. So it's basically like a weird, like kind of Disney-esque animation morality tale with a dog who I think goes to hell. I can't quite remember. But I remember it being really bizarre and kind of psychedelic. So here we go.
So it's a Max Fleischer cartoon.
Yeah.
Directed by Dave Fleischer. I don't know the difference between the two.
So I think this was like for kids, but it's got quite a dark tone to it. Lots of kind of disturbing things happen.
Well, I would be pretty sure that all cartoons back then were for everyone. Like,
yeah, I mean, there wasn't much else.
It was such a novel concept. Especially talkies.
So that game Cuphead that's coming out, it looks a lot like this.
Yeah, it's that kind of...
Yeah, it's that same animation style.
The chair. I really like this so far.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's weird. I guess weird though.
Some nice animation.
Yeah, especially for the time period.
I know, it's like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I guess it is. This is where it gets weird.
That is pretty great. That was so great. So he tried to steal a chicken.
Mm-hmm. And now he goes to hell, I think. It's the Jew.
You needed it.
Stroking his ass.
I mean, I think you can probably understand how this, like, fucking gave me nightmares when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, this is some. Oh. Their mouths are very, like, oh, they're very horrible.
They look like plants from Mario.
And the fact that the voices are haunting as well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that early sort of recording process.
Stand up, you sinner, we got you at last. You can't get away, there's no time to play your finished wine to be fast. Brothers and sisters, come on, get hot. We'll amputate your bodogio and tie your bones in a knot. Did it down, did it down. Did it down. Bip it up, down, down.
Oh, noose.
You're gonna get your face lifted and a permanent shave.
So that's very threatening.
A permanent shave. I like that.
Where you want your body set? Body? Huh? Ain't gonna be
Oh
no
my
body.
god. That's like an LSD trip.
Yeah, a bad one.
It looks like a fucking Robert Crumb nightmare.
You can't make any excuse. Go loom, till we pick up the loop. When you sinner, for making chicken slow, you're at the end of your rope. So just give up all hope. When you sinner.
That
Will stretch you like a giraffe. Maybe what you would have. Just give us a laugh. When you sinner.
So yeah, you got killed at the end, I guess. I guess because you got cut up with a knife and
went
then
to
it's kind of ended.
hell. Well, that was amazing, but I
Yeah,
mean,
it was really good, but I mean, it was I honestly think that kind of like, for at least the early part of my childhood, like scared me into morality.
I think for 1930, I think anybody watching that in 1930, you would be going to church every day after you saw that, because from what that is just
Yeah, otherwise the ghosts are going to give you a permanent shave.
there were so many things that were like sort of like, it reminded me of like 60s sort of freak out kind of animation. What was that guy called? Ralph Steadman, the Hunter S. Thompson animator. A lot of this stuff reminded me like straight.
It reminded me of Ralph Bakshi. You ever see his shit, like, what's it called? Fritz the Cat and stuff like that.
Well, that was Robert Crumb that did the original comic.
Oh, well, it was Ralph Bakshi that did the animation.
Did the film,
Yeah.
Apparently the two are a bit like separate. Well, I mean, yeah, I've not seen either.
It's weird. It's just like a kind of bizarre, like, animation for adults. And has loads of, like, kind of, like, racist, like, imagery.
I remember George Galbraith telling me, it's like, yeah, you see the Fritz the Cat, and he's grabbing on the black cat's tits, and I was like, George, no, I'm like 13, like I don't want to see like, he's just like, yeah, you see Fritz the Cat, and he's touching the milk
He's
duds.
touching and a feeling.
So, but that Swingy Sinners, I was surprised about how little racism there was.
There was the Jew guy, the Jewish kind of dude, who does the stereotypical Jew gesture.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Like, I did. I pointed out. I said, "Look, a Jew."
Oh, I didn't see.
Oh, right, okay. Well, apart from that, yeah, it wasn't so bad. There was a turkey singing, like, kind of scat singing. But I don't know if that was really qualifies.
I mean, the music was definitely appropriating from like the swing and the Dixieland of the 20s and stuff.
Yeah.
But he wasn't doing it in like a minstrel style, which was kind of like
Quite a moralistic kind of cartoon in general. Do you think stealing from hen houses was a big problem, like, back in the 30s? So they had to, like, make this? Like, that specifically?
Maybe that was the kind of the thing, though. Maybe that guy... Because instead of, like... Well, retroactively, I think they would have called them black people back then. And then retroactively, when they were kind of introduced into the canon of, like, the studios of stuff. So, like, Warner Brothers would adopt some of these characters. And, like, Felix's studio... I don't know if that was probably Max Fleischer's studio. So, yeah, they would say they were talk ink people instead of black people. They were like, they're ink animated people.
Right. Okay. So the next thing I want to show is a game I played in Bahrain at an Asian kid's house. I played this on a ROM subsequently. It's a game called Takeshi's Challenge, which I think it had very heavy involvement with. I'm not sure it was directly made by, but it was made by Takeshi Kitano, who's the teacher in Battle Royale. He's in Ghost in the Shell, and he was the guy who was the bad dude in Takeshi's Castle, which was a show I think pretty much everybody's seen.
And they had Craig Charles.
It had Craig Charles narrating the UK version of it. So we were going to get a version of this up and play it through, but honestly, if we have if we can just get gameplay footage, it probably does just as well a job. It is one of the most indecipherable games I've ever played. From what I can recall, like, we had to play this with a walkthrough. Like, you had to play it with a walkthrough because you don't know what to do otherwise. Because there's no, like, kind of consistency in the gameplay at all. It's just like you have to do weird dialogue choices, walk around, do certain things. And from what I can remember is you come home, you go and you get drunk, and then you come home to your wife, and then, like, she, like, goes mental at you for coming home drunk again, and then, like, you beat her up, and then you beat your kid up, and then you go to your job, and then you quit and beat your boss up, and the security come and beat the shit out of you. And then you end up like loads of weird shit happens. I remember at the end, like you end up going to this place called like the Red Country, which is like a weird like combination of like Nazi Germany and Soviet Russia. You go there via like hang glider or something like that, and then you die. I think I can't remember, but anyway, we're gonna watch this. Okay.
So he's punching.
Just watch, right? Okay, so I got killed in the name input menu because he tried to kill the dude. So yeah, yeah, right. So this is how it starts off. You start off in your boss's office, and then you go and you can talk to him, and then you can just demand a raise, you can quit, etc.
That's why you'll only get a tiny bonus.
So then you can do other stuff. You can like beat him up and stuff like that. But bad things happen if you do this. So yeah, it's like was that a SNES or a NES game? I can't remember. It looks like a NES game.
Definitely looks like a NES.
So yeah, you get these options. You can punch him, and he says, "Hey, you won't get away with this, and security come and kill you."
Like you're punching him across the room.
Yeah. So these guys just like punch you until you die.
Oh, and then you get a funeral.
Yeah, that's right. You get a nice funeral with a smiley funeral guy. The bit I want to show you is the bit when you get drunk. I know it's in this video for sure. I saw this video not that long ago.
Like
the sales chart. Yeah.
Nico loan.
So yeah, you can walk around town. You can do pretty much wherever you want. It's like GTA. You can beat people up and stuff like that.
Yakuza versus Yakuza.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, again, it's like you wouldn't even know that you can go down this like street here. The controls are really fucky, and nothing's particularly clear about what you need to do at any point in time. So this is what I mean. It's like you literally need a walkthrough, otherwise you can't fucking do this game like at all. So you have all these.
Seems pretty detailed compared to like a lot of NES games at the time.
It is, but it's all like weird detail. Yeah, it's very detailed. It is very detailed.
It's maybe on the same level as like what was the first Earthbound game? Kind of looks like that, which had a lot of detail for being on the NES. Or you're punching Mr. Baldwin.
Yeah, you can just like kill people if you want and stuff like that. It's like. Yeah, and you have to like, oh, it's just so janky, man.
Culture Club.
Oh, yeah, that's where you go get drunk.
Like how you're trying to fight people to get into the bar. Like,
yeah.
Oh, let's go for a drink. Oh, I'm just gonna fight these ninjas first.
So yeah, these guys, like, people just get in the way, so you just need to kill them sometimes. I think maybe this isn't where you get drunk. Oh yeah, you can do courses, and yes, again, this like comes in like you have to do like very like specific things.
Shamisen.
Yeah, you got to do like
That
a
is
shamisen course.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Talking to the empty desk.
So, did he learn?
Yeah, you now have that as a skill, which like doesn't really like you never actually have to use it, but you need it to progress. If you know what I mean. It's really weird that the teacher from Battle Royale made this game. And
Grilled Mormons.
Yeah, you go up to you go to the karaoke bar and you get drunk.
As Amisha Karaoke / snack.
So yeah, that's what you do. You just sit here and you just drink and drink and drink.
Want another?
Yeah, you
I've had enough.
You just keep saying this, and then eventually you end up like wasted. Yeah, I think you black out actually, and then you wake up in your house and your wife's like trying to kick the shit out of you. Yeah.
Huh? It's pitch black.
You black out.
That's not how you black out.
That's what blacking out's like, yeah. And then you.
Huh? It's pitch black. You're drunk again. Got something to say?
You can just divorce. I think you divorce her.
I want to travel. Pay alimony. Punch. This is not.
This is a great kids game. And
Two
she
kids.
still tries to beat you up anyway.
It's like a psychotic version of Alex Kidd
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
with less platforming.
Less platforming and more like fucking family drama.
I can't remember who I was speaking to
Yakuza's trying to beat the shit out of you.
about Alex Kidd. I can't remember speaking to about it, but I think it was Hector. He was telling me how he hated it so much, how you just got to a certain point of the level, and then you could lose the.
No, it was me you were talking about too. Yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
You just lose the jank and you just start the whole game again.
Yeah.
It's just like fuck, man. Alex Kidd was really rough. I never liked that game. I had it like when I was a kid, but I never liked it for that reason. It was just like, you know, you get to a certain point and then it'd be like, oh yeah, great, okay, I just like have to like not play the game anymore.
Yeah, Nadia had it when she was younger, and she would play it with her brother, but it was like
Just like losing
the
everything
toughest
and then
game.
having to start the whole game again is just like super disheartening. Like I don't mind it for games like Street Fighter 2 and stuff like that. You know, that's fine. But like for that, no, it's absolutely terrible. Huh.
Da-da-da-da-da.
So anyway, you've seen enough of this. So this game like gave me nightmares when I was a kid because you like had to hurt your family and stuff like that. Which you know, before I played like more adult-oriented games, that was kind of strange to me.
I don't want to hurt my family.
Mm.
Well, I don't think that was very. I mean, video games do give you nightmares. I think when I was young, I played Amiga games, so I guess that does pass the nightmare scale. But definitely,
It wasn't very good. Like watching it now is more funny than anything else.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I think the winner is
Swing You Sinners.
Swing You Sinners,
Definitely.
which is for the time 1930 was a horrifying cartoon. It's like 30 years before its time from when Robert Crumb was really making that stuff, that old sort of 20s look, look proper scary. Because his stuff was mainly to do with like, I don't know, just ambiguous rape and things like that. And like super racist stuff, but he was doing it sort of tongue-in-cheek, which I don't think a lot of people got at the time. They just thought he was like a racist animator. And they were like, yeah.
So thanks everybody for watching the first episode of the Nightmare Challenge. We'll be back soon with better jokes and more stuff. If you have anything you'd like us to talk about, please let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
I've never tried to ask anybody for the comments before.
You've never e-bagged before.
I've never e-bagged.
Well,
although
never
I do like to try and get the subscribes.
Yeah,
I do like things.
Yeah, so give us your shit so we can make some money off the internet and stop being poor all the time.